Hey there, Jim Johnson for accenthelp.com, and we're working on the Vowel+R. Today is the near set of words, the lexical set based on J.C. Wells' work. So commonly it's written near. So most American speech is rhotic, meaning the R stays on, so I'm going to keep that rhoticity, that little wingding on there, right? Near. The variation that happens on this is that for many American speakers, it actually starts to creep towards this. Knee, E as in fleece, as opposed to the I as in kit. Near, near. Many Americans actually raise it up. So here's where the kit vowel is on the vowel quadrilateral. Front of the mouth, back of the mouth, top of the mouth, bottom of the mouth. Here's I as in kit. Here's E as in fleece, this lowercase I. So I think that Americans in general usually creep towards that, so that near becomes more like near, but it really starts to become near, like someone that you knee, you shove your knee into their crotch, that makes you a near. Whatever, right? Or if these are my peers, this is a peer. So if you go too far with this, suddenly you've moved into a person who does that thing, a person who knees, a person who pees. They would be a peer, and this would be my peer. Many of my peers are peers. In fact, I hope all of my peers are peers, because otherwise they got some issues. I don't have issues. None. Ask my wife. I have no issues. None. I'm perfect. Okay, so I don't think the reality is that it goes all the way to there. It's not a peer. Instead, I think it raises. Now, I could note it that way. I could also note it this way. What these two things are diacritics that mean we're moving something upward or we're moving something downward. I like to think of them like they're a thumbtack, and it's going the direction that the thumbtack presses. Like this one's pressing down. So this one's moving a little bit down in the mouth. This one's moving a little bit up in the mouth. I tend to go with this one because it's common to think of the near set as being this, or in a non-rhotic accent, near, so much of England, near. But then what happens in America very commonly is it raises towards near, near. It starts to approach E, but doesn't go all the way there. So you could either write it that way, or you could write it this way. I have a preference for basing it in what is familiar, or what you will tend to see in pronouncing dictionaries and such, and then create the variations based on that. So that is the big thing that tends to happen with this one, is the movement towards E, that raising towards the fleece vowel. And I would say that raising it towards the fleece vowel, if we're looking at casual, generican sort of speech, generic and American speech, I think that probably represents it more accurately than anything else. So this, I would say, is generican. If we're dealing with more elevated generican, then we want to avoid that and go towards near instead of near, 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 near. It's a slight difference. I don't think it gets in the way of understandability, but it might communicate a little bit of something, especially if you're an actor and you're working on these subtle variations that communicate certain things. This, I would say, totally works for like film generic, and this is what you would want to target if you're working on stage generic and kind of stuff. So there you go. That is, actually, I'll leave both of these up because these are the couple of variations that I would say fit the near lexical set of words. If you want to do a deeper dive into phonetics, and if you want to learn more about a generic American sort of accent, you can check out those generican materials at accenthelp.com, or you can find out about all sorts of other accents for actors.